So I want to make a quick video here. This is my LX470. If you guys know about this truck, it's basically exactly the same as the same generation Land Cruiser. It's got these other headlights on it, but really, otherwise, it's the same truck. Even people say it's got the automatic height control that the Land Cruisers don't. Well, Land Cruisers did in the later years come with automatic height control. This truck's got about 265,000 miles on it, and it works perfectly fine. So I'm not worried about the automatic height control at this point. It is a maintenance item. But the point of this video was, I've had this for 4 or 5 years now, and I like camping. I do a lot of tent camping, but as you can see, I've recently got a rooftop tent. This particular one is the Raptor off-grid that I got off Amazon. They go for about 900 bucks on Amazon. I got lucky on one of those cyber days, and it was $850. So $920 shipped to my door. I've used it once so far. I've had it on the truck about 2 weeks. Taking a trip already up to West Virginia. I'll stick a little clip here so you can see. We used it it was snowed all 3 days. It got well down below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It was cold, but the tent did great. But this particular video is about using this vehicle for overlanding. So the first thing is, I have taken this out on Jeep trails before, and it does fine. It's a Land Cruiser, so you know it's going to do fine in 4x4 situations. But one concern that I had was this truck. It's a 2005, and it came with not these, but it came with 18-inch wheels. So I recently had new tires installed, and I had picked up an old set of Land Cruiser 16-inch wheels. Picked them up off Craigslist for 200 bucks. I cleaned them up real good and just hit them with some Rust-Oleum aluminum, and then set them off to the side. And the Rust-Oleum is good as long as you give it time to cure. It really needs a couple weeks before it really starts to get hard and it gets resistant to chemicals and whatnot. Anyway, so when we're out on the Jeep trail, I had aired it down to about 20 psi, 18 to 20 psi, and I was with a guy who had a Land Cruiser, and his truck had 16s, and he just had so much more sidewall. The difference between an 18 and a 16 is an inch extra sidewall all the way around. So I was pretty nervous. There were a few times there we were going over big rocks, and I was a little worried about pinching the sidewall. And you definitely don't want to do that when you're out we were way out in the sticks. So I picked up these 16s. These are 265/75 16s, which are the exact same rolling diameter as the 265/65 18s. I don't know. If you go to tirecalculator.com, they have a comparison. And what I found is that these 265/75 16s are the same exact diameter, width, everything as the 18s I pulled off. So the next question was, what kind of tires do I want? Well, I had some Yokohama HTXs, which are really just, highway tread. They still did okay off-road, to be perfectly honest with you, but I wanted something a little bit more aggressive. But as this is my daily driver, and I don't want to look like I'm some sort of gnarly rock climber guy, I still wanted to look pretty much like a normal truck. I didn't want anything like the KO2s, which, they're great tires, but they're a little bit too shouty for me. I really like Yokohama's. Those tires were awesome. They wore great. They were quiet all the way down, to the very end. They were quiet. Never had an issue with them. They were fantastic tires. I got tons of miles out of them. I think I bought the car with 250,000 miles. I put 50,000 miles on those tires. Honestly, I could have probably driven them another 5,000 miles. But I was ready for a set of tires anyway. So I got these Geolandar ATs, and these are the G015 tires. And here's the tread. So they don't look gnarly, but there's a good bit of room in here. The other thing is they have these, it has nice siping, and these are winter rated tires. There's also a little bit of tread here on the sidewall to help you just a hair. And I got a chance to test these out when a buddy and I went camping last weekend. We went up to near it's called Gandy Creek Dispersed Camping. It's up in West Virginia, and we knew that we were heading into a snowstorm. Well, when we got there, it was lightly snowing, and there was snow on the ground. We drove up on snow-packed roads, but it didn't stop snowing the entire 3 days that we were there. So as we were driving in and out the next couple days, especially the day we were leaving, because it was really coming down that day, we picked the toughest way out, kind of on purpose, but also very naively. So these tires really showed us how well they do in the snow. We had gotten about 12 to 18 inches of snow over that period of time. Well, that might be a bit optimistic. It's probably about 12 inches of snow while we were there. As we were leaving, and we're having to head basically up over the pass, we're going through areas where we could tell no one else had driven. So we're going through these rutted roads at about 4,200 feet at the highest. So under the snow, I knew was ice, and it was a little nerve-wracking, but the tires did fantastically. I mean, there was a couple times because of ruts or whatever that we're sliding off on the side. I was worried about us sliding down into a ditch, especially since I don't have a winch or anything. And I could tell that no one was going to be coming for a long time because we were the only car that had been there for a long time. But you just slow and steady, keep your foot in the gas, and the tires pulled us right back onto the road. The other thing is, people talk about being able to hear the tires. I will say that is true, but you have to really listen for them. And as in, turn off everything. Don't listen to the radio. Roll all your windows up and don't talk. And if you listen, you can hear the slight sound of the tire tread, but it's extremely faint, and you really got to listen for it. So unlike other mud tires, which you hear going down the road, and they're super loud and annoying, and somebody else's car even, these are not like that. These are quiet. And most reviews I've seen, people have said, yeah, they're super quiet. In fact, maybe they're even quieter than the tires that they replaced. That's definitely, I could see that. They weren't quieter than the HTXs that I took off, but they're very, very quiet. And you, like I say, you need to be listening hard to hear it. And the third thing, these versus KO2s, these were like $170-ish a tire, $100 a tire less than the KO2s. Let's be honest, we're not going mudding every weekend. If you are, buy the KO2s or buy like legit mud tires. But if you're like me and you do national forest roads, you do roads like this that's just packed gravel that might be muddy, or you do snow or whatever else, or some light off-roading, these are more than adequate. And I suspect if I pushed them hard enough with the A-track on this, I could accomplish quite a bit. Anyway, I just wanted to make a quick rambling, I suppose, video about these tires, and about, you know, using this vehicle as an overlander. I'm going to continue to put out a bit more content as I continue to fit this truck with more things, overlanding, and use it more and more. So maybe if you're interested, if you've got one of these and you'd like to see somebody who's doing the same stuff as you, stay tuned. And if you got any questions or you want to see something in particular, let me know. I'm also going to be doing some maintenance videos because I've got to replace the oil in both differentials in the transfer case, plus I'm going to be doing a transmission fluid flush on this as well. As I say, I've had it for about 50,000 miles, so I think it's time. I don't know when it was done before, if it was ever done before. So that's what's coming up. Stay tuned. Thanks.